it was around a month after the bloodletting that I stopped seeing Amy. I don't know if she got brave enough to run like I should have, or if something else happened to her, but I'm really hoping for the former. I wish I knew her name, so I could at least look her up, but they stole that from her too. Anyway, I'm getting sappy, and I can't get sappy with this stuff if I actually want to get anywhere. About 9 months into my stay, the weird activity seemed to have subsided. I didn't witness anything disturbing in that time, but I didn't see any new members come around either. Mary was still with us, and better, she'd become pregnant. Or maybe worse, depending on your standards. At the time, I was excited about it. I don't know if it's normal for 20-year-old guys to get excited about babies, but I sure was. I don't really know why either. I am an only child and my connections with family were never particularly strong, so maybe it was just some desire to feel that bond. God knows. Either way, when it came time for her to deliver, I wasn't allowed in the room. Not that I really wanted to be, but it was specifically me and the other men, excluding Papa. The baby was birthed by a midwife and, as far as I could tell, everything went fine. All of us men were told to sit outside of the room, wait patiently, and eventually we'd get to see the baby. It was a girl, but at that point I just cared more about getting some dinner. The rule of silence was apparently disbanded for the day, as it was to be a day of celebration, so a lot of us were talking. We wondered what the baby would be named mostly, if it would be male or female, if we'd get any say in the name. I don't know why some of us thought we would, since we didn't get much of a say in anything those days. When we all got to see her, it wasn't in her mother's arms. It wasn't in a comfortable crib. Hell, she wasn't even wrapped up in blankets or anything. She had a cloth diaper on and Papa held her up like the fucking Lion King or something. At the time, it didn't concern me. Nothing concerned me anymore. We could go a week without any decent food and I'd still have a brainwashed little smile on my lips as I plowed and plowed and plowed fields and peeled garlic and fucked John. It wasn't even fun or experimental at that point. It was an obligation. We had an obligation to serve Papa, and to serve Papa we had to keep in high spirits and good moods, and to keep in high spirits and good moods we had to be sexually active. Sometimes I think he must have just gotten off on the idea of all his little minions obeying him and fucking each other's brains out, but I dunno. I never once saw him with any of the members, male or female. 10 months into my time there, Mary was gone. The baby stayed, but Mary disappeared. Papa told us that she'd abandoned her child and we, as the true parents of this blessing, were morally obligated to take the place of her whore mother. Josephine stayed in Papa's cabin. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. Now, I wonder what he was doing to her. It scares me to think that I probably sat by and allowed a child molester to take care of the only baby in the group. Don't get me wrong, I don't know if he was actually hurting her, but I can't help but put 2 and 2 together. Older man, new age ideas, living alone, taking care of a baby after the mother mysteriously disappeared. It scares me. A lot of things scare me now. I thought writing this story would be easy, because I've told so many therapists the exact same story. I thought I wouldn't be upping my Xanax, but I can't stop shaking and I think I'm going to vomit soon. I need to get more beer. A year into my time on the farm, the marriages started happening. Now originally, we were encouraged to copulate but not love. The sinful, physical body needs sexual satisfaction to work at its best, Papa would say, and we must all work at our best to reach our goal. But then something changed in his mind and he told a few of us that we were to be married. John and I were not on the list, and while I was confused about why exactly at the time, I'm so fucking glad I never let those motherfuckers go through some sham ceremony to tie me to that bastard. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. John was still a nice guy at the time. He still treated me like a roommate during the day, and at night we were still practicing cohabitation. Sometimes I wonder why he joined the cult too, and I wonder if he was drawn in like me. I wonder if he had a family. I never stopped sleeping with John, even after I caught him covered in blood late at night. It wasn't that unusual for one of us to get up to pee, but he was taking a hell of a long time. I got up, put some clothes on, and walked outside to see him half naked, covered in blood. Now we had pigs and all, but they were only slaughtered once every few months and it was almost a ritual. This wasn't a ritual. This was a fucking psycho. What the fuck are you doing? We weren't allowed to swear anymore, but you can't blame a man for responding to a shocking situation. He didn't even answer me at first, instead just stared at me. His mouth looked full, his cheeks puffed out with God knows what. I didn't really want to know. When he came closer, I had to fight myself not to step back. I'm not going to lie, I was affectionate with him. Like I said, it wasn't really fun or experimental anymore. But when you know someone intimately you fall into this rhythm after a while. We still never kissed, but I knew where he liked to be touched, he knew where I liked to be touched. It was strangely comfortable, and I never withdrew from him anymore. John, seriously, dude, what's going on? John wasn't the most serious of people, so I honestly thought he was just playing some really shitty joke on me or something. I'd mentioned a few times that when I was little, I'd stay up so late I'd start to hallucinate so I wouldn't have nightmares, and I explained my night terrors through puberty. Surely, he was just trying to freak me out, right? The look in his eyes was blank as he spit out whatever was making his cheeks look so blown up. I still don't want to know what it was, but the blood didn't really give me any good feelings. And then he just walked away, back into the house, into the bathroom, and started washing off. He was completely normal, soothingly told me to go back to bed, all of that. I don't know what the hell was wrong with him, but I slept anyway. I slept with him right next to me. I don't know why. I'm guessing it was PCP or something, but there were never any drugs on the farm. So I don't know how he got it. And I don't know if PCP just shuts off like that. Either way, it freaked me the fuck out. I still think about it sometimes, but mostly I just have to sit back and ask, where did that blood come from?